What's up everyone, Cody here, and today we're talking toys. And I'm not talking about some cowboy space ranger bullshit. No, today we're talking dolls, killer dolls, specifically the tiny antagonists Annabelle and Chucky. We're gonna dive into origin stories, compare abilities and total kills, and finally end with who I think would win if these two were to go little toe to little toe. So let's get started. But before we do that, go down and hit subscribe. We're talking about haunted dolls here, and I know for a fact it would make the spirits happy. Round 1, origin stories. Let's talk about where the characters and their inspirations come from. Both were originally created as regular, normal, non-murderous toys. Chucky was a good guy's doll who became possessed by the Lakeshore Strangler, a serial killer slash amateur Chicago-based voodoo enthusiast named Charles Lee Ray, a name derived from Charles Manson, Lee Harvey Oswald, and James Earl Ray. Now, while these three men no doubt had significant impacts on American history, for those of us who actually follow true crime, these guys were honestly kind of boring. None of them were serial killers. Look it up, at me. Chucky's story was also loosely inspired by a real-life doll named Robert, who was believed to have had life bestowed upon him through voodoo in the early 1900s. Not sure that's exactly how voodoo works, but whatever. And now while Annabelle looks terrifying, the doll itself is actually used as a conduit for a literal demon who possessed her when two grieving parents welcomed an unknown spirit into the doll after tragically losing their daughter. Her character is based off a real-life haunted Raggedy Ann doll, according to notorious paranormal superstars Ed and Lorraine Warren, which... don't even get me started on them. But anyway, according to the Warrens, the doll can not only move itself, but get out of locked cases and leave creepy notes for its owners. Some have also claimed that the doll has tried to physically hurt them, from crashing cars to leaving bloody scratches. She's even been blamed for the death of a man who disrespected her during his visit to the Warrens Museum, where she resides to this day in a locked case. On his way home, he, still making fun of the doll, crashed his motorcycle and died from his injuries. Obviously, this round goes to Annabelle. Round 2, kill count. Diving into the fictional deaths, it's evident that the two have very different approaches to wreaking tiny havoc in Hollywood. Chucky likes to handle his kills personally, while Annabelle doesn't tend to really get her hands dirty that often. Chucky has over 60 kills throughout his films, while Annabelle only has a handful. What can I really say? The data doesn't lie. Put your murder where your mouth is. This round goes to Chucky. Round 3, abilities. As we've seen in the Annabelle franchise, she can control technology, which would give her a huge upper hand when going up against the Mark Hamill version of Chucky in the 2019 remake. But in the bulk of the series, Chucky has a tiny body but still maintains his regular grown man strength and is notoriously difficult to kill. The poor guy's been shot, stabbed, burned, blown up, cut up, stomped, melted, you get the picture, but he keeps coming back. Yes! Death is only a temporary setback. In Cult of Chucky, we learn that he has now figured out how to separate his soul into multiple host bodies, potentially creating an army to go up against Annabelle if needed. While Chucky has to do the dirty work himself, Annabelle is usually used as a conduit for other evil things, typically a demon. That means she not only has an endless list of terror at her disposal, but she can also go up against Chucky without really putting herself in harm's way. Her owners have tried multiple times throughout the film franchise to get rid of her, but she always seems to turn back up. So like Chucky, she's a hard one to kill. Combine that with her ability to control tech, move objects with her mind, and cause hallucinations, and Chucky has a pretty equal opponent here. Because of her demonic ties and the fact that she can distance herself from the fight, I gotta give this one to Annabelle. One dude possessing a doll just can't go up against all that and walk away. Tough luck, Chuck. So there you have it. Chucky might have better one-liners and be way more violent. And while I would not want to run into either of these dolls in an old Toys R Us parking lot, I gotta give the award for fiercest ankle biter to Annabelle. She's basically the devil, and I just don't see Chucky overcoming that. Also, if you get taken down by a doll, that's just Darwinism. Sorry, not sorry. Or Darwinism. Okay, that one I'm sorry for. But what do you think? Do you foresee a different outcome in this battle of plush men and porcelain demons? Head down to the comments section and let me know how horrible my opinions are. And be sure to subscribe to Cinema Bin for the latest entertainment news. Your friend to the end. We'll see you next time.